Good evening, and welcome to Up Close. I'll be your host for this evening, and my name is Andrew West. And tonight we'll be visiting the Blythe Itaglios, located in Blythe, California. The Blythe Itaglios are geoglyphs in the desert. They're located near the Arizona border. The Blythe Itaglios were discovered in 1932 by a man named George Palmer, who was a pilot. He was flying back from Hoover Dam and spotted them. The largest Itaglio is about 170 feet in length. They mostly can be seen by the air, and they are not just limited to the Blythe area. The Itaglios were damaged severely when General George Patton had his tank division located here. The Itaglios were severely trodden by the tanks and the treads, and this damage can still be seen. Today, they have been fenced off by a 2-perimeter fence. This is a very interesting and very rare find. There is also a petroglyph near Hemet, California, called the Hemet Maze Stone, which is similar although much smaller. It is only about 6 by 6 feet, and someone has carved a swastika into it. This is something that should never be done to a historic monument. There are also several other petroglyphs. In fact, they are located all throughout the Hemet area and the varying area. San Jacinto, Lake Elsinore all have these petroglyphs. The painted rock is near Lake Elsinore also, and is quite interesting, although not fenced off and should not be damaged. The Hemet Maze Stone is fenced by a 2-perimeter fence. There are also quite a few along the Diamond Lake area, and also adjacent is Massacre Canyon, which is quite interesting, which leads into Palm Springs. Scientists and archaeologists are not exactly sure who carved the desert figures. They feel that most likely it was one of the indigenous Indian tribes. The Massacre Canyon area is also an area where one of the local indigenous tribes were massacred. This is near the Diamond Valley Lake area. The Massacre Canyon area is also an area where one of the local indigenous tribes were massacred. This is near the Diamond Valley Lake area. The Massacre Canyon area is also an area where one of the local indigenous tribes were massacred. This is near the Diamond Valley Lake area. They are not exactly sure also who carved Hemet Maze Stone. Some speculate it could have been Chinese explorers. As stated earlier, Hemet Maze Stone has been severely damaged by someone carving a swastika into it. This should never be done at an archaeological site. Hammett May Stone is also fenced by a 2-perimeter fence. Making it difficult for people with disabilities, although it is not a difficult walk once one begins to attempt it. Hammett May Stone is also fenced by a 2-perimeter fence. Painted Rock is located in Temescal Canyon near Lake Elsinore. This, however, is not fenced off and should not be damaged under any circumstances. It makes it very difficult to observe the archaeological site. As stated earlier, these petroglyphs do exist up and down the Colorado riverbed, and many are located in Arizona. There are quite a few petroglyphs in the San Jacinto, Hammett, and other surrounding areas.
Like Stephen King writes horror. If I was a Jew, then I'd light a menorah. I got rhymes for ya, excuse me, senora. Are you a horror? Are you a lady? Is it Erica Boyer or Marsha Brady? Let me know, hun, the deed'll get done. Just listen the position. I'll take my rod and then I'll go fishing. I'll get your river flowing. I'm always in the know when it comes to giving pleasure. I'm every woman's treasure. I came to work your body, so let me do my job. I've never been laid off, my rhyme is still paid off. Cause now I'm making records, now I'm making tapes. Steady busting suckers in bunches like grapes, making all the pace, scooping up the loot, putting suckers on the run, pull my gun in and I shoot. I never been up front, I never been a fraud. I got a natural skill for that, thank the Lord, cause I feel blessed, I'm casually dressed. I always got my gun, but I never wear a vest. I'm quick on the draw, like the horse named McGraw from the cartoon, boom, shalak, lock.